Community solar gardens is something I've also just been getting a little bit more acquainted with. There's a lot of different developers that are going to start really looking to have people subscribe to their gardens because they have tax incentives to produce these before 2016. One thing I started to notice in having some of these conversations around the city is that it seems like there's almost a bypassing of the community in community solar garden. I've been a little concerned, and again, I'm not an expert in this, but as a journalist, I've been looking at the fact that a lot of, some of the developers are certainly going to some of the big commercial entities that can be part of this. And then there's other big organizations, nonprofits, such as churches, where those congregants can be part of a community solar garden. But there's also a large segment of the community that either doesn't understand yet how they can be part of a community solar garden, how they can decide among these developers. But also there's a credit check that's involved with a lot of this, and a lot of low-income communities who could benefit from the cost savings involved, are potentially being bypassed. So one of the people I've met in recent weeks, months, is Timothy, who is part of Cooperative Energy Futures, and Timothy's going to talk a little bit about what he does and how his collective is doing it.
Sure. And I'm actually going to take a little bit of a step back, because I think, when we talk about sustainability, energy is such a huge factor, but it's largely invisible. We are using energy all the time. Right now this room is being heated, it's being lit, we're running electrical equipment, but we don't usually actually see the facilities and the things that are building all of that or that are running all of that. One of the things I think about sometimes, I think would really change the way we think about energy. So, every week, if you're in Minneapolis, and I assume most other places, you take your trash cart and your recycling cart out to the curb. Well, what if you had to take your cart of coal out to the curb, the coal power that is used to provide your electricity? How much do you think that would be on a weekly basis? Guesses? It's about 70 pounds.
Wow.
Okay? So imagine every week you had to haul out your cart with 70 pounds of coal. You don't have to do that because it's being burned in a plant somewhere else and it's going up into the atmosphere. But it's just, I think, a thing that's really important to anchor ourselves in when we're working on energy is that there are huge impacts on the climate, on public health, and also economically. We're spending, in the city of Minneapolis alone, about $450 million every year on electricity and gas.